Soshanguve is one of the biggest townships in the province, but plans to build a hospital here were only announced last year by the Premier. People who use the public health system there get referrals to Jubillee Hospital and Dr. George Mukhari Hospital, which are already overwhelmed. Although there are clinics to provide day-to-day or primary health care, the coronavirus pandemic is exposing shortfalls in the public health system. Now, Soshanguve is also a student town with 2 campuses of the Tshwane University of Technology. And while that adds to the economic activity, it also puts a lot of pressure on health facilities as they share the same facilities with the rest of the permanent residents of Soshanguve. Our reporter is there, Matuba Mahlatjie, and this is in Soshanguve, as we've mentioned. Matuba, good morning to you. It's the first day of the lockdown. Talk to us about what you're seeing in Soshanguve.
Good morning, Leanne, and yes indeed, we're coming to you live from Soshanguve, and what's behind me is Mabopane station, which is the transport interchange. This is a usually very, very busy place, but I'll take you back to early morning when I woke up, because I happen to live here in Soshanguve. The sound of the tweeting birds was much more amplified than on a normal day here in Soshanguve, because usually at 4 a.m. you'd be hearing the hooting taxis and the roaring buses that are taking people to 30 kilometers to the Pretoria CBD and other places of work, but that was not happening this morning. Soshanguve is a quiet place, and we certainly woke up to a very different Soshanguve today. Like I said, where I'm standing also is an economic hub of the informal economy, but there's nobody here selling anything. All we see is the essential workers working here, but we are close by to the Soshanguve Plaza, where there's a big ShopRite that serves most of the community here in the north of Soshanguve. And that's all we've been seeing, and we've been seeing cars of the police and the soldiers that are here to monitor this lockdown, Leanne. And another interesting... Yes, Leanne, carry on.
Matuba, no, please carry on. But I'll ask you another question as you move, as we sort of continue our crossing. The last official stats on the population were around about 400,000. Do you think there's enough health facilities to cater for everyone on a normal day?
Look, that 400,000 is a stat from 2011, and I'm certain that that number has, also according to United Nations projections, that by this time, 2020, 2021, the population will have doubled. And I can give you the anecdotes of how many new housing projects, how many new informal settlements are now here in Soshanguve, and there hasn't been new infrastructure to grow with the population that's growing every single year here, Leanne. And as you said in your intro, TUT, Tshwane University of Technology, has made Soshanguve a student town, and that has also added pressure on all the public facilities that we all share here. There certainly is pressure, and this lockdown is coming in handy, because you can imagine if there were still students here, and some of the students can't all fit in the residences of the campuses, so they stay with families. They're renting bedrooms with families here. So you can imagine the kind of spread that corona would do to a place like Soshanguve had we not been in a lockdown like we are at the moment.
I mean, Matuba, the devastation would be immense. It really would be. You know, let's sort of talk about what Soshanguve is actually like. I mean, so you're going into 21 days of lockdown there. What is it normally like? I mean, what would people be missing out there and hopefully abiding by this lockdown? As you mentioned in your introduction, they seem to be abiding by it. But on a normal day, what is Soshanguve like? The vibe, we're 30 k's outside of Pretoria. There must be so much activity and life there.
The next 21 days are going to be difficult for the rest of South Africa, but Soshanguve is also arguably known as the capital city of Amapiano. That's the kind of music that's trending at the moment, and people here, the weekends are massive here in Soshanguve, and that's what people like to do. People like congregating, and like many townships, it's got similar traits with many other townships like Tembisa and Mabopane, Karankua, and so forth. But they're nice hotspots where young people, because it's a young population mostly. So the Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights are hectic here. So that's the kind of vibe that we will be missing here in Soshanguve for the rest of the 21 days. But judging on social media, prominent DJs and people who are doing social work have been on social media trying to rally people and saying, let's support President Ramaphosa and his government on this lockdown, because it's somehow helping us and helping the rest of the country to save lives. Because we've seen what happened in Italy, we've seen what's happening in Spain, and we've seen what might happen in the United States. And certainly people of Soshanguve don't want that coming here, and that's why they will abide by the lockdown regulations until the end, Leanne.
All right, Matuba Mahlatjie, thanks very, very much. Coming to us from Soshanguve, as you heard, a usual big party that happens there over the weekends. Well, this is a very different weekend. Lockdown, South Africa, first day, and life not as it used to be.